Hi guys, thank you for watching. In the past few weeks, we have been talking about areas where we can invest in the Zimbabwean economy in a hyperinflationary environment. As we all know, the economy has been on a tailspin. The economy has been struggling, and since we started, the questions that I continue to get are people asking, where can we put our money in Zimbabwe in this environment? And we spoke about the stock exchange, just a recap, and we said a stock exchange is a good investment. We also said that because we are talking about savings and investment, and we also said that the two, they always work together. If you have your money and you're just saving it and putting it aside in a pillow or anywhere where we can put aside our money and keep it there without getting you a return, you are not saving. That's what we said. And I think continuing with that argument, we spoke about the stock exchange, and we said the stock exchange is a good place to put your money. And we proved to all of us that over the past 2-3 years, the stock exchange, the Zimbabwean stock exchange, in real terms, has been going up, and on average, plus or minus 15% to 17%. And we also spoke about unit trusts, and these are formal areas where we can invest our money. Today, we are introducing another area, something that is different, something that we don't realize, but it's a good area where you can put your money. Most people that I know, we have rural areas. Where we have our relatives, we have Kumusha, where we come from. And as we grow up, there's something that our elders, villagers, used to use to measure wealth. I did grow up in the rural areas, and I remember my grandfather had at any given point in time, he had 30 cows. And the advantages of cows when we were growing up was you would get milk. So every time when you're having tea, you have tea with milk. That's number one. Number two, at Christmas, you'd normally kill a beast for us, so you would have meat, and once in a while. It was special for you to have a meal with meat whilst growing up. And finally, cows were very important even today in the rural areas, because they were used for drawing plows. They were used for agriculture. So it was very important. So you would know that someone who had cows was rich, because you then use your cows to plow your own fields, but you could also use your cows to plow other people's fields and for a return. So that's how good it was back then. And I think even today, people with cows with cattle, they are better off in the rural areas. They live a better life. And today I'm introducing livestock as an investment area, as a place where we can put our money. You earn your money and you want to put your money aside, and you don't want to use your money, and you want your money to give you a return in the long term, because most of the issues that I speak about are long term, and so we will talk about short term investment areas in the other episodes. But today, let's talk about livestock. Livestock over time. So let's say today you buy your cow at the hard Mashona types, the local or the indigenous cattle that we have seen, costing anything between 150 to 300 USD. You have your cow, you have your cattle, you have your cow, and so if you buy it for 150 and keep it for the next 3-4 years, it will be growing. Whilst it is growing, it is also increasing in value. The more it adds weight, it's increasing in value. The more it ages, it increases in value. So that's the good thing about cattle. Of course, I have to say you need to continue to buy medication to make sure that the cows are fed and all that. But it's better. It's a better investment area, because eventually when you then sell your cows, or when you then decide to say, I'm getting out of this business, you will be rich. Because what we are saying is, you continuously invest in this business, you continuously invest in your cattle, you continuously buy more and more and more and more and more, and you will see your investment grow. And I would say this is an easy area for most of us. Why? Because most of us, we have rural areas where we still have relatives living there, we still have our parents living there. I've noticed that most of us, because of urbanization, we have now urbanized. We no longer want to go to the rural areas. We no longer want to invest in the rural areas. If we go Kumusha today, most of us, we have nowhere to sleep. Why? Because we have not invested in that area. So livestock, once you start investing in your livestock, you continue to invest even in your own rural area, in your own housing. Our parents, our fathers, they would make sure that whilst they earn, at the back of their mind, they would want to continue to have cattle at home. Cattle at home, if you have a son, it's good, because it will also help you. It will also help your son to get married. You give your son something at the end of the day. You give them when they pay lobola. So I'm saying today, livestock. Livestock includes cattle. It includes goats. It includes sheep. It includes even chickens, the road runners. And I think these are I'm not advocating for projects, but I'm advocating for investment in livestock, only because over time you see your herd growing. I have a few examples of a few people, a few friends, few relatives who started this, and they are doing well. And even our own parents, most of us would know that our own parents will continue to invest in livestock, and they started with 6, they started with 5. By the time, if they are dead, by the time they left this earth, they would have had 35, 40, 50 cattle. So that's how we start. I'll give you an example. When I attended school sometime, I met this guy in SA, and this guy said to me they had introduced a livestock exchange. And what they were doing is people were investing in this business. And because it was an exchange, I'm just giving you this is just an example of an idea of how good this can be. So this person would say they started just like what we are saying, investing in cattle. And after a while, they had about 200 cattle. And they started renting a farm. That was in South Africa. They started renting a farm. And when they noticed that they had many cattle, so they went to the public, and they sought, before they went to the public, they sought relevant licenses, and they found the licenses. They were licensed, and they started like I said, is a livestock exchange. So how this happens for them in SA, this is not available in Zim yet, but how it operates is, you have your cattle, you go to them, and you choose. Maybe it's on the website, and you say, I want to buy that cattle, that cow, or that bull, whichever. I want to buy that ABCD. You choose what you want to buy. They'll sell it to you, but they'll continue to keep this, to keep the cows for you, and they'll be charging you a minimal amount for the day-to-day running of the business. Maybe it's medication, it's food, and all that. So they would charge you that minimal amount, and you know that you have 5 cows in whatever farm, and when you want to go out, so because they now have a platform where buyers and sellers meet. So you want to sell, someone also wants to buy. So you sell your cows, someone is buying your cows. And the pricing of those cows is now market-based. It's now based on what the buyers and the sellers are agreeing on that platform. And it was a brilliant idea for me. And I think that we have to go back to the roots and invest in areas that we can. You see that if we start investing in livestock, like we are saying now, the benefits on the economy will be tremendous. Why? Because you build onto the national herd, and once the national herd goes up, it means that we have more cattle in the country. It means that we have more people with cattle. It means that we have more cattle to export. And we will end up with more breeds of different cattle, because when you get into that business, when we then employ the right people, and the business will grow. So today I'm encouraging all of us to go back to the roots, go back to your rural areas, look at what is there, and start investing in cattle, than to just keep your money. Invest in things that will bring value at the end of the day. That will store your value and still give you a return at the end of the day. Thank you for today. Remember to like, to comment, to subscribe, and to share with friends. And keep the comments coming, keep the feedback coming. Thank you. Have a good night.